Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video, I'm going to show you how I make all my money on Escape from Tarkov without even going into a raid. I finished my big event stream with about 9 million rubles and I've been just randomly logging in every day or two and then chucking up a heap of stuff on the flea market, and now I am over 30 million rubles. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. All right, so first up, I really should explain how the flea market works so you get a better understanding on how to level up your flea market rep, what makes you profit, what doesn't, and then that way we can go from there and I can show you what to sell. All right, so using the wiki page, it actually shows you what rep you need to get more sales overall. After this wipe, last wipe sometime, they changed how many offers you would get depending on what version you had, being the Unheard edition, and also they just gave it so you had more offers right from the get-go, which has made it a million times easier to be able to sell stuff on the flea market. Now, you can put anything up on the flea market as long as it's not a restricted item, which at the moment is generally speaking just some containers and then pretty much any ammunition that has over 40 pen. But you can have 40 pen, so that's something to note. Now, the other point is, as your flea market goes up and down, the way to actually level up your flea market rep is by how much money you put through the flea market. It's not by how many items you put through the flea market. So it says right here, reputation is gained upon successfully selling a listed offer. Every 50,000 rubles gained from sales incrementally increases the player's reputation by 0.01. So it's not like if you put up 1,000 bandages under cost price that you're going to have your flea market zoom up in rep. It doesn't really work that way. It's about the profit you make from the actual sales. And by profit, I mean the actual money received.
Buongiorno. It is me, Don Pestily, the Godfather. When it comes to supplements, there is only one the family uses: gamer subs. For me, my favorite flavor is titty milk, just like Mama used to make. Bellissimo. Now I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. Go to gamersubs.com. Use code Pestily for 10% off. And you too can be a part of the family. Woo!
Right now they've got that out of the way. Another thing to take note of before we go into individual sales is that there is a tax that you put up on the flea market. So when you put an item up, say I was going to put up these AK GP 25 items, you click that. Say I was to put it up for 1 ruble, there would actually be a 13,000 fee. And then, if I was to put it up to 100,000, there'd be a 16,000 fee. So there is a happy medium for every item. Because if I was to put it up for 1 million, now we're up to 800,000 fee. And if I was to put it up to 10 million, there'd be a 40 million fee. So it's like a bell curve on how the fee for the flea works. And you need to make sure you don't make a mistake, because sometimes you can actually burn your whole cash flow because of that tax. Now, the tax can be influenced by the actual hideout itself. If you go to your Intel Center and there is a reduction in the flea market fee by 35% if you have Intel Center level 3. This is also changed by if you have leveled up your hideout management skill, which is another reason why you should always be leveling up your hideout management skill. Mine's at level 18, which is right down near the bottom here. Mine's at level 18. I'm kind of blocking it, so it's moved out of the way. But yeah, so every time that levels up, it increases the bonuses from hideout zone. So it's very important to level up your hideout management. And if you are going to be, flipping flea stuff and all that, hideout management is leveled up by crafting. Actually, now levels it up. But having power in your generator, running 24/7, you want to have your water collector running 24/7, and then last but not least, air filters, having that going 24/7 as well. That is the easiest way to do it without even playing the game, and you can just level that up. Now, I've always been a big advocate of leveling up your hideout as fast as possible, and it's what I do at the very beginning of a wipe. People are always like, why aren't you speedrun for Capra? I'm like, the hideout's more important, trust. And the reason for that is the hideout makes me millions of rubles a day without even trying. For example, and we'll start to get into the flipping stuff now. I bought all my water collectors for no more than 30K. I sell super waters on the flea market. At the moment, they sell for 90,000. So for the rest of the wipe, they'll go back up. They've kind of hit that at that point where they're actually starting to, everyone's starting to get water collector, so, and not as many people wanting to get moonshine. But right now they're selling for 90k. So for every 5 hours, I make 70,000 rubles on the flea market just by flipping these water filters. When I had this first up at the start of the wipe, I was selling for 900,000. So for each water filter I bought, which I've got enough, technically for the rest of the wipe, I would assume there's some there, there's some there. There we go. So that's enough. Like these, they take 5 hours each to use. You can use them for about 1.5 water filters. I've got enough there to last me about 100 days. This wipe's only about 120 days long. The other thing I do very early on is before graphics cards get too expensive. If we look at graphics cards right now, they're at 619,000. I think I paid 270 to 280,000 on average for all my graphics cards. I bought all 50. And now any graphics card I find, I put straight up in the flea market and I'll make 600,000 plus. These get flipped quite heavily. And an easy way to see something getting flipped is just look at the actual time till it expires. When someone puts one item up, it's about 11 hours. When someone puts a lot of items up, it goes up. So for example, this guy's bought 4 or has 4, and I can guarantee there'll probably be one person. Here we go. This guy's got 31 graphics cards. So he's bought up all the graphics cards at the 600,000 mark, most likely, and then put them back up for 738,000. He won't sell them straight away. This person will be sitting there going, all right, I'll put this up and they'll sell over time. But every time one does sell, it sells for about 130,000 profit. So he probably sat there for about an hour or two buying all the graphics cards every time someone just sitting there pressing F5. All right, and when a graphics card goes up for, I don't know, under 650,000, there would be an equation if you want to spreadsheet it. He'd probably look at it and go, okay, it's under 650,000, buy that, and then I'll put it back up in a big bulk. So the way to make sure you say, I'll use this as an example, 688,000. So if you're going to use a spreadsheet, and you could spreadsheet this if you want, I haven't done it because I just don't care that much. I just do the math fairly quickly. Say this is 690,000. I'll see if we can get one a little cheaper, but 690,000, and then you want to put it back up for sale. Well, just to make profit on that, you need to make sure you are including the tax on the sale. So there's 710,000. It's got 30,000 profits. So you need to put it up for at least 720,000 just to make even. So he would probably say, all right, 690,000. I need to buy, put them back up for at least 720 to actually make even a ruble. So they might go, all right, I'll put this back up. I'll buy everything under 650,000 because then I can put them back up for 710,000 or whatever, and eventually they will sell, which they will. These will. Some guy will go, all right, I need to buy another 15 graphics cards, and he'll go through and he'll buy all 15 of these. He'll be saving up his rubles, buying 15 of these, and then all of a sudden the price is at 720,000. And you'll see these big jumps and fluctuations. A really good example is the ammunition A56A1. This ammo, sometimes it's at like 1,100 a round, and then I've seen it as high as 1,600 a round. So if you're sitting there and you're looking at this ammo and going, oh, I'll buy it every time it goes under 1,200 rubles a round. And if you would sit here, this ammunition goes actually quite quickly and moves fairly fast. 1,200 rubles a round would be a bargain right now, and you just buy it. So like, oh, there's 1,250. Bam, just buy that. Already bought, sold. So there's someone probably sitting there doing this exact thing, what I'm talking about right now. And therefore, every time they go under a certain price, people would have their number that they would be looking at. So I'm guessing 1,300 right now is that price. And people are buying that at 1,300, and then they get a big bulk stack. Remember I said about the time up? So this person's got 2 days worth, 3 days worth, 3 days worth. So 2,800 rounds. This person probably put up 3,000 rounds, but a heap of it's already been sold. And you can tell by, it's actually the same person, these two, 140 flea market rep. This person probably has barely played the video game, by the way. They're just flipping straight up. Level 15, he's probably done scav runs, mostly not. He's done 9 scav runs and 53 PMC raids. And that's pretty much all they've done. They just went and got some money, and then the rest of the time they're sitting here on the flea market. I'm not going to talk about if they're a legitimate account or not. Most likely this guy is, but he's just sitting there having fun on the flea market, or I don't know what he's doing with the money. But people like doing this shit. I played EVE Online a lot, and people do this a lot. Same with Path of Exile. I played that game a lot. It's a big spreadsheet simulator, and people have a lot of fun with it. Now, I know this isn't a very structured video, because I'm trying to explain everything to you so we have a really good understanding. But yeah, so when you look at someone like this guy, 329 flea market rep, and this is how I kind of learnt some of the good barters. So this person buys wines cheap and puts them back up for sale. Remember how I was telling you about how you could tell if someone put up a big stack, generally speaking. So these, you can tell because I've got the rep, going by rep. This guy put up enough to have it up at 4 days. So if we go looking at price from low to high, these people have been putting them up as like, he might have put up 10 or 15 or whatever. So this guy, they would have bought all the wires up at like 25k, and then he put them up as a big bundle. So this guy's got 104 up. You know, this guy's got a 55 up, and that's kind of how it works. That's the premise of the people that are flipping the flea, and you can kind of learn a little bit of what people are flipping that are good at it, I guess, by tracking the rep of the flea market. And you can actually go, okay, these guys are flipping these items. The main ones I've seen that actually are flipped, barter trade items and ammunition. They're generally speaking the ones that are easier to flip because they have a higher turnover of items being sold. There are people that flip keys, but I find that most of these people are being dodgy. So for example, they're buying colored key cards that aren't, or they buy colored key cards at high numbers, break them down to like a 1, and then put them back up for sale and scamming people by them accidentally buying the wrong key card. I see a lot of this, so I don't know. I assume that they're mostly being dodgy with it. But yeah, that's pretty much the main ones. Weapons don't really go as well, but yeah, grenades will over time. All right, next up, the last bit, and probably the bit that you care more about, which it's only really going to be, like my list is only really going to be for the people that actually been playing the game a bit and actually have a bit of levels and have finished most of their gunsmith stuff. But what do I do? If I want to put an item up on the flea market, the way I do it is I go down firstly to settings, turn this to disabled. Sorry, I might explain that a bit better. Auto add to wish list, set it to disabled. I've got it on the other one because I've been playing on my hardcore account. And then you want to go add to wish list and put it as other. That's how I set it. So that gives it that star there. Now, every item that you want to put up on the flea market, you star. And then from there, when you go to flea market, you go to wish list. And these are the items I flip. So the way I do it, it's very simple, very straightforward. I pretty much go to the top of the list. And obviously I'm searching by price. And you can just see, all right, so this is at $6 and they're selling at $990. Now, something you got to take note of with dollars is $6 here is probably close to $990. It's $870, right? So you just got to kind of keep that in your head where the turning point is. So like I would go down here, there's that one. 824, this is selling for 1150. Now, obviously, I have these items unlocked. So that, like Fletchettis need Jaeger level 3, FMJ rounds. Now, these I would buy because they're cheap. Someone's obviously put them up as one each, but I would just buy them all because I'm going to probably want to put them up a little higher. And I'll just keep note of that. So I'll go down this whole list. 190. PP ammo. So this is the ammo section. And then obviously I've got weapon parts as well. Weapon parts as well. So these are mostly unlocked from gunsmith stuff. And then you'll get this happening. It's actually kind of annoying, and then once I go down that full list, I'm probably going to run out of stash space, to be honest. This has made life so much easier since I started using this wish list. Couple of little hidden gem items. These Calocs sell really well. I've got these. I've also do have a couple of items on there that I like to buy just so I've got a stockpile of them. So Bastion helmets, armors, because I use them a lot when I'm playing and because they're cheap. I see DVLs. DVLs actually buy for 80 and then they sell for about 119, but you will get caught out a little bit. So just be careful if you are going to buy the DVLs. These are the barrels for the Gunsmith 25 or whatever. Now, money cases, early wipe, I was selling for about 1.5 million and they were making me costing me about 200k to buy. 2 to 300k because I was getting rollers for about 40k, skulls for 30k, and gold chains for about 25 to 30k. Super cheap. And I was flipping these for about 1.5 mil. I was making bank off them. You still do make profit on them. It's a little bit more effort to actually buy the items. So then once I've gone down this whole list, and I'm just obviously keeping an eye on, if something is like no longer profitable at all, vectors you can only put up one at a time for some reason. You can't put up in the stack. But yeah, like if something that is no longer profitable, I kind of leave it there for a couple of times, just keeping an eye on it. Because sometimes it just happens to be like, a bit unlucky or whatever. And then I'll start at the top. So 856A1. Now I know for a fact that I'm not going to put it up for, that because look at how much more I can make from it. And I just kind of look where the sticking point is. Don't always put it up for the lowest. If I go 1443, we know that's going to sell quite quickly. And then obviously as my flea market rec goes up, I get more offers to sell. So make sure you got auto select on, select all the items. We know we can make more money than that. So we'll go 1108 AP 6.3. And I usually start with the ammo because it generally sells pretty quick. Ammo sells pretty quick. And then once your ammo starts selling, then I start switching over to doing all those weapon parts because they can take a little while longer. Now, obviously, There's a lot of things I have in my list, so it might not all sell straight away. And so if I only have 10 minutes now, this whole process takes me no more than 10 minutes from start to finish. I'll buy all the items from the wish list. I'll chuck everything up for sale, and then if they're not all sold, I sometimes just walk away and I kind of keep a note of where I was up to, and then I come back and I'll check the wish list again, make sure I can buy everything again, and then from there, this is just a process of just doing it over and over again. And you would have noted that I'm down to like 29 million. It did cost me a couple of million to buy all this stuff, but by the time I finish selling everything, I'll probably make profit around about the 2 million mark, I'd say. So see how these 60 round mags are actually, they're kind of dropped in price, and I'm not really going to make any profit on it. I could either sit on the 60 round mags or I could buy some of them. So depending on what I want to do, you're going to have a look. So this person's got 7 up. So it's not really that good to buy them right now. But what happens is they kind of fluctuate a lot. So the next time I log in, 60 round mags will be back up higher. Or if I've got everything already sold and I've still got the 60s there, I might just put them up for like 47K. So at least that way, when they do finally sell, I'll make some profit on it. Now, the reason why I have a lot of Pro Build is I actually do crafting in the background because it helps level up my hideout management, but I also use a lot of Pro Build. So that is another way that you can actually make money as well, is crafting. I'm not going to make a video on what items I flip through crafting because it changes literally from day to day. The main idea I have, and this one's a really good one, by the way, you need to have like Gunsmith 25 done, but I've been making 60,000 plus profit on these every single time, quite consistently. But yeah, the main thing to think about with the crafting is I also try and craft something that I'm willing to use. So worst case scenario, they don't make me profit on the Flea, I'll just craft them to use as well. Now, the rubber butt pad for the M4, you actually can buy them from both Peacekeeper and Skier. That's why I have 21 on me right now. Now, depending on ammunition, I always undercut by 1 ruble. I never undercut by 1 ruble when I'm selling weapon parts. And the reason behind that is if someone else is undercutting by 1 ruble at the same time, it means you could have a stack with someone else's stack. And it's better off to undercut by like 100 rubles or 1,000 rubles or whatever. Like it will cut into your profits a little bit, but it's not so much that you're like, oh man, I'm never going to be able to like financially recover from this. And then as you see, like I've still got some stuff to put up, you know, like we've still got some items to go, ammo cases, etc. And they will sell. It all just happens. I just kind of like do it over 5 minutes or so. And if it's not done, then I'll just piss off and I'll come back like an hour or two later. And I really haven't played this account since I finished that subathon event because I've been unwell. And yeah, this is kind of how I've made the last 20 million. And it's probably taken me overall time playing not that long, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. But I just say I'm watching a YouTube video, I might just open it up and just quickly do another flip, or you know, I'm walking past my computer, I'll just log in and do another quick flip. And I'll show you what we've still got left to sell. Oh, there's one item I'll show you that I'm going to destroy it by telling you guys this, but it sells so well early on. And that item, you can't add it to your wish list, but it's the Wi-Fi camera. You can buy 6 every reset, costs you 1,494. To give you an example, 1,494 euros is 1,494. It's 243,000, and I get 63,222. So it's 63 times 6. So it's about 380,000, 390,000. So it's making 150,000. These nearly always sell like very quickly because obviously people have caught on. This guy's got 18 up and stuff like that. Early wipe, I was making bank off these. Like I would sell instantly because people need them for quests and they have to finish the setup quest to be able to unlock it. And the barter trade is way more expensive than actually buying them just from doing the normal sales. So, or people are just lazy as well. So early wipe, I was selling these for like 80 to 100K, and they were selling straight away every time. So once all that's done, it's carburetor I'm gonna sell later. They're the super waters that I've still got to put up for sale. Now, obviously I haven't sold everything yet, but I don't want this video to go for like too long. But yeah, after that, that's all we have left. We have a heap of items still up for sale. And if I was to go to collect the money, we're at 29K. I can't remember what we started on. Collect, we're at 33.5, and I've still got all these other items to sell. So, and it'll just slowly tick away. If something doesn't sell, I'm not too stressed. It'll just happen over time. You will get up to your flea market run. And look at my flea market rep was on like 40. I can't remember, was it 48 or 44 when we started? I think it was 48. Pretty much the way it works is if something doesn't sell, don't worry about it. Just walk away, come back, and I can guarantee you in like 3 to 4 hours time, it'll probably go. Only time I have issues is if I sit there, and I've only done this twice, and I've done it mostly with this ammunition right here. I've sat there and tried to buy, when it was earlier in the wipe, not now, because obviously it looks like it's fixated at this price a bit better. Earlier in the wipe, I was buying everything that was under 1200, and I did it for ages until I had like 4,000 or 5,000 ammo, and I put it up for like 1,300 and something, and it took like a full day to sell. So, you know, if you do it like that, like these guys up here that have like, you know, multiple days worth of ammo, like 3,000 ammo, so it's up for 3 days, it will probably sell, but it's just going to be a bit of time before it gets there. So that is pretty much the whole video. Hopefully I explained everything enough so you guys can understand how flipping works. See how I was talking about the mags going back up to about 48k at some point. Damn, they're up there now. And don't be disheartened if an item doesn't sell. You will lose a little bit of flea market rep if it doesn't. It is what it is. Like, this is already back up for reset, so I could have bought more of those. But if something doesn't sell, you do lose a little bit of flea market rep, but it's not the end of the world. And there we have it. I'm up to 34 million. There was a full set of purchase I did before this video, so don't think I just made 4 million or whatever. There was 2 lots of sales in there. But yeah, it's and it's still ticking away. And this is possible to do without being at max level and max traders, but it does help a lot using my list. But you like using the principles of what I said, flipping the other items being the barter trade items and all that. It is possible to make a fortune. You just have to be smart about it, a little bit patient. If you come from a background of EVE Online, you'll find it super easy, because this is super easy compared to EVE Online. You're like playing the big world economy market in that one. So, and just have fun with it. I honestly don't see any issue with flea market flipping. I think it just makes the prices cheaper for everyone, so therefore majority of people can progress through the game faster. And but seeing that this is a shorter wipe, people will have the ability to actually play all the content and use all the content. The only other thing I would probably say is, if they were going to make a change to stop it from flea market flipping from the traders, I would personally like to see the only change happen to be it needs to go into raid first before it goes onto the flea market, which means I could buy a heap of ammo, go into a raid using it, and then come back out and put it up on the flea. That would be the only thing that I would consider. Maybe something like that. I don't know. But let the economy ride. Let it be a free economy. I don't really care. I have fun, and if they change it, I just adapt my playstyle to whatever changes they make. So yeah, that is how to flea market flip and how I've made. Well, I'm up to 37 million now. I haven't played this account. I haven't done a single raid on this account since the end of the subathon, which was about 4 days ago. And that's pretty much all I've done. Just chucked some stuff up on the flea market. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you guys liked it. Like and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Let us know what your thoughts are on the whole flea market flipping. And make sure you subscribe. The hardcore series is either live or just about to go live. So make sure you go to the Pestily TV channel and check out the hardcore series. It's the first few episodes will blow your mind how successful I am. I'm not trying to like make spoilers, but it is the most incredible start ever on a hardcore series for me. And I'm excited to continue on that. And look at the money flowing. The money's just non-stop flowing in. I'm gonna be a billionaire this wipe, and I'm not even gonna play it. All right, much love. Lastly, guys, I'll see you next time.